Continue with Crown Journal Yoga, Yoga Chudamani Upanishad. And we're in the mantra 1314a, Agni Mandala. First, I'm reading the Sanskrit. Agni Mandale Chakram Prachyate Manipurakam Dvadashare Mahachakra Punyapa Vivarjite Tavavevo Brahmatyavam Yavat Tatvam Navindati. In translation is, in the navel region in the center knows Manipura, which has 12 petals. As long as the individual does not realize the element of this great chakra, which is beyond virtue and vice, duality, he has to go through the cycle of birth and death. And the commentary provided here is, here Manipura is symbolized as a lotus flower with 12 petals, although in other texts it is said to have 10 petals. Manipura is the center or storehouse of prana, the cause of life and existence. The element of this chakra is fire, so it is also known as the Agni Mandala, the circle of fire. So the Agni is the fire, the Sanskrit name for the fire element. And we talked about Manipura so many times already. In here, it was already been mentioned before. So that's located just the back of your navel center. So if you visualize or feel your belly button, just across, draw the line towards your spine region. That's kind of physical position in your body, but it will vary from body to body, of course. In this very common chakra, we feel it on a daily basis to attach to bring awareness to, and you often can feel disbalance there too as well. It's like energy center. There's our digestion, there's our metabolism, there's our energy. There's also, when we talk about akashas, this is our adhara here located, and this is the primary ancestry roots in energy stored there. The circle is a symbolic of infinity, that which is without beginning or the end. And it's also the blazing sun, another symbology of Manipura. Blazing sun is all spherical, and I'm saying this for my students as well often. Sphere, it's the most safe energy, universal shape, which all the elements in the space take to. So if you ever watched broadcast of the traveling in a vacuum or in a, like on a world station, you know, that orbiting our Earth, and they do they're showing how they're eating or drinking water. So whatever the water come into the room and it's floating around or into the open vacuum space, it takes the shape of the sphere, and everything trying to do it because it's the most preserving energy arrangement of the molecules. So through the physics, you know that. That's why our planets are like that. It's also rotation involved, but it's also the most natural way of preserve energy, the sphere. So your surface area, the minimum when you're in a sphere shape rather than oval or elongated or cube form or anything like that. So if you go back to trigonometry and physics, you'll think about this, and this is the most saving energy shape. So here it's kind of like connected to the two, and here they say it's infinity, and it's also that it's there's no end, there's no age of it as well, and logical in terms of the science and yoga science arrangement of the material or energy or anything like that. Same with our Earth. It's the best way to slow or cool, lose the energy as well, to be in a sphere kind of shape. But it's very interesting things you can dive in, not on this video. So the element of the fire represents the eternal fire or spirit which is beyond birth and death. At the physical level, this fire is responsible for maintaining the digestive function as well as regulating body heat. So metabolism, digestion, creating energy, removing everything we don't want. So all the important organs located around our abdominals as well, and the pancreas and the kidneys that cleaning, digest energies and the heat around the body. And at the subtle level, it becomes the yogic fire, which burns away impurities in the form of lower or instinctive tendencies and material associations and impressions. In my chakra course, we talk about all this lower, kind of below Manipura, and Manipura included chakras, so Muladhara, Svatisthana, and Manipura. And then when you surpass this level, it's very important kind of transition point. You get into the different realm, whatever you are, in the Hatha, Vishuddhi here, or in your Ajna. For majority of instincts and tendency that come from us from our previous whatever evolutionary stages are kind of more animal type of instincts, they located and associated with the lower chakras. Not necessary, but there are tendencies as well. So Manipura is this fire when whatever energy you have below, which that's where the energy comes from. We cannot progress in yoga or get energy without incorporating those lower levels. So we not like give up on them. So they're part of all the enlightenment process. But we take this energy, if yoga practitioner is experienced, be able to get all this raw and very strong energy because it's very instinctive. It's undeniable and straightforward, like fear or anger. You cannot. It's very strong energy, and when it comes through your Manipura, it's get transformed, transcends into the different levels. So you learn to redirect, to take all the negativity, all the experience from your fails, for example, or something you've done, and you will be able to transform it into the next level, and will help you to get enlightenment. People have a lot of regrets and sadness about what they've done. But in the yoga science, we talk about it doesn't matter, and same all the religions, they say if you read correctly through the prism of here in yoga, all the texts around the world, the religion texts or mythology texts or ancient stories, they all talk about your actions, very important, and you better avoid the actions when you're in a high level. But if something already happened or in the past, or you've been kind of cornered to perform particular action, it's all about your attitude and acceptance of this action. Rather than if you've done it, you're done. You're gonna burn in hell, yeah? If they say, no, sometimes the life put us in a position when we have to perform particular action, which we kind of like rather don't, but we have to, and it's all about your intention and how you overcome it and accept it. And if you didn't, the life gonna bring you back and back the same situations. And often people are stuck in a loop. And they're like, oh, I always meet this type of people and I always end up this type of situation in my life. How should I avoid it? Is it karma or not karma? Constantly fight it and not accept it. You will never, and let it go, you will never surpass it. And the moment this happens, these things will never come back to you. Your reality will change, like something like a switch in your computer game or something. You're going to end up in a different world the moment you accept it. And we as yogi, we know we can do it on the mat. So with our meditation practices, pranayama practices, deep practices, we can overcome these things without actually going and living those actions and causing harm and then regret it. Sometimes people evolve through just a life action. So there's different ways. If you let it go, whatever happened in the past or in the future might happen, it's only when you will surpass it. In the Yoga Nidra, one of the practices, very amazing, universal, when you can do this while you're in relaxation. It's so amazing. You don't have to do anything. You're relaxed and you rejuvenate. It's like putting your phone on a charger overnight, for example, and next day it's full of charge and everything. Same with you. When you're doing Yoga Nidra, you're relaxing and charging. In the same time, you're doing all this acceptance and let it go actions from whatever happened with you in the past. So that's a very amazing practice available for us. So let's finishing what's about Manipura. Manipura is the center where ego gratification depends on role, status, and power is an outer world. This shift of awareness is based on duality, I versus other. So that's also Manipura, the main point of this actually mantra 1314. It's the Manipura, it's the place where you can transform your energy, but it's also the point of transition from I, me, to I'm part of everything, I'm part of the universe. Whatever I do to the world or other people, it come back to me, or in the back, or in the past, or in the future. We're not giving up our I-ness, because otherwise you will not survive in this physical world without your own realization that you need to protect yourself. Don't burn your hand in the fire, or don't go to people and give away everything, and then might not survive, you know. It's about recognizing this and leave whatever action you're going to do from the point of view not me on the first place. So I more important than anything else. No, you will be important as a part of everything else on the high levels of your yoga evolution. There is a great concern with the social and professional constraints, whether one is inferior or superior, weak or strong, popular or not popular. It's all these lower chakras. The mantra implies that this perception of duality, so there's duality me and the rest of the world, bad or good, races, differences, gender differences, all these things, education with vice and virtue will continue until the element of Manipura is realized. Dualities depend on the association of self or ego as a separate entity. As long as the individual identification prevails, there will be birth and death. With the awakening of Agni Mandala through the practices of Kundalini Yoga, the awareness is freed from ego association and the pure consciousness shines from like the light of the sun. Such a yogin no longer passes through the cycle of birth and death. An example, of course, the Buddha Shakyamuni, who enlightened it. You don't have to spend all your life in sophisticated ashrams with the gurus and teachers and put your body and soul through tasks and experience to get there. So Yogi Shakyamuni, he reached it in 40 days. And it's interesting that Jesus as well it took him 40 days of wandering around the desert where he surpassed the ego. So whatever happened when you read the Bible happened in the desert with Jesus before his crucifixion, fighting with this level, and he surpassed it there. So his ego went away. Well, it doesn't go away, so it's always there. So like in yoga, as I told you many times, in the tantra type of science, it seems like you go somewhere, so you gain some kind of knowledge, you realize something by learning something. No, you don't. What you're doing, it's like I'm wearing the sunglasses inside the room, and for me everything looks dark and I cannot see particular objects around me. It's a flip of a second, less than a second. You remove your glasses and you just see clearly everything, and you can find things, and you're realizing, for example, that the room is actually green, not the blue as you were thinking, and this kind of analogy. So that's what's happened with realization, and it might happen to you not necessarily during the yoga practice or while you're listening or reading some text or stuff. They're going to help you and they can accumulate, and they're going to give you this motivation for practice. But these things usually come when you're doing something not related to yoga. Often you'll be or driving a car or doing dishes or observing something. Often for me, some realization come when I'm in particular situation when I'm usually not in, or I'm observing something, animals or the world, phenomena in the world. So it might come to you also when you do some kind of repetitive practice as well, when you have this 1 point concentration for a split of a second, and the realization might come. And it's like the curtains open and you or fall down, so you see nothing change, but everything change. I hope it makes sense. And Manipura, this level, as they say, is a kind of enlightenment, kundalini rising practices. It's attributed to be the level where you from start kundalini rising and you get to enlightenment through. And that's what's depicted kind of here, say in the text. But as I told you, if you look on the more ancient traditions, Tantric in particular, that's a very important point, but it might come from any level. And actually, Kundalini rising from its sleep, the base, from Muladhara. And we'll come back to this in the next mantra. Hari Om.